And when don't need to worry about presenting evidence and stuff like that for this testimony that she's gonna give. It's gonna be easy. Don't worry about it. The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Windy Bank's pawnbrokery are intimately related to the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Yes, I remember this young lady being brought before me in the trial as well.
That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded. Come on, Gina.
The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now, here we are, all again here. The same players in that trial facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps, my dear police friend.
We're back here again. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was a prime suspect for the murder, but as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged, that the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility of light to light. And at the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under the seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then, immediately after the trial having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilded died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances.
A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on, as indeed does the omnibus murder itself.
Be that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor the small box be mentioned in the course of the proceedings.
Nope, it does. Oh, not really. Miss Lestrade. Come on, tell us. Would you tell the court now, please, what really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago? I mean. I don't know what you mean. I already said all of what I know. And what about everything you told us yesterday from the inside of your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade. This is extremely important. It is. You really gotta tell us now. But
remember, little girl, if it transpires you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury.
ooh,
And naturally, you will lose all credibility as witness. Although, let's face the facts, you have little credibility to lose.
or none. Jeannie, don't listen to him. Please, you have to trust Runo now. Iris, we're on your side. Come on, Gina. Help us so we can help you. Practically, right? Alright then. I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it would seem that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears, so be it.
I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGilded's pawn articles and that extraordinary case of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware.
Alright.
So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events of the 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, the comedy sorely lacking in your original statement.
This is it then. Everything's going to come out. Like Van Zeke said, this could bring the whole courtroom down to about my ears. But as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk. Hell yeah, Ryunosuke. What a man! Such a man. I wish I had a lawyer like him. Even though even though his credibility will go low, he's willing to fight for me regardless. Like that. Truth is, the bait maker Cole was in the cabin on the omnibus in the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out of the under seat, I saw the disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream over my head, and that pair of the roof deck went off to call the slops. That's when Mr. McGill slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I seen or heard.
Good grief, this is an outrage. What you've been told to the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago.
As you say, my lord.
Then there's every chance I may have adjudicated an error in McGilde's trial.
Well, to be fair, you did that to yourself. Regardless of how much times we fought, and then we also told you that he is guilty. You still said not guilty because the crime scene was tampered with, and nothing can be resolved. You said he was going to be put on the hold, but you'd straight up give him a not guilty verdict.
It sounded very much to me that this man deliberately deceived his court in an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes.
Without doubt, your lordship is correct. The great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in that trial, of this witness, and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable.
They have to understand that we were doing our job, and also, we didn't know the guy. We just been thrown there and accepted the facts of the case as we were presented at the moment. And even when we did know inconsistencies of the new evidence, we pointed it out. It's not our fault. It really isn't. I don't believe it. This whole trial was a farce. And the court fell over the run in the court. It's like them. Don't forget the lawyer was from the east. They were all in together. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. Mr. Naruto with the lawyer there. The lawyer there, he didn't know nothing about it.
Humbug!
I don't think so. Are we really expected to believe that? We just arrived that day. We really stitched everyone up, didn't we? What an operation to get the men off scot-free. Unforgivable. Stop. The lies have to stop. Stop. Shut up, everyone. Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibilities and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it's imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony, because the true significance of Mr. McGilde's pawn articles must be brought to light.
Very well, my learned student friend.
Ooh.
Given the depths of the calamity that you have just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing.
Well, tell me, the situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruto,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of the trial.
Of course, my lord. Blimey. Mr. Naruto.
Now, Consul, proceed with the cross-examination.
I told you I'm gonna fight for you till the very end. I don't care. He does not care. Ryunosuke and I do not care about our reputation. We're gonna put it on the line for you. Because I know for a fact you did not commit this crime. And then you were also a victim too.
Hold it!
Alright. Let's get down to it. You were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Miss Lestrade? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats. Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all. By the way, what you need to do for this part of the section of the game. You see how these guys are not even paying attention to the testimony? And it kind of seems like they're really negotiating right here. Anyways.
No, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claimed that Mr. Mcgilded was the sole person. Did you not hear?
I did hear.
Did you not?
I'm sorry.
False testimony, my lord.
That's what he told me to say. I had to say. But it's important to tell you that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGill and the victim acquaintances? I don't know. But I did hear them talking a lot. What were they talking about? I don't know. Well, I couldn't hear it too well, but I had to say. I think it was about the money or something. They kept talking about buying or not buying.
Perhaps business dealings of some kind.
Well, anyway, they got louder and louder, and it started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe, and then, all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over to the floor, and it was blooming loud and all.
I believe you let out an involuntary scream.
Yeah? That's what gave me away. Well, duh. Who wouldn't be scared of that? Was the disc you saw this disc? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. I was right to see the cove lying on the floor.
Would this disc have belonged to the victim, perhaps?
I don't know, but Mr. McGilded picked it up all pretty smartish. And all that he said sat up the cove with a knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at the time? He told me not to say a word about what I seen or heard to no one. But the disc and all, I was dead scared. And the way he was looking at me, I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with the knife too. Then he started asking me a lot of questions. Like what my name was and where I lived and that. He asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what happened to the carriage was noticed. Was noticed? Yeah, that's right. First there was a kind of rapid noise. I guess the guy screaming, right? Yeah, the masculine scream that he let out. There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. He must have been looked down through the skylight and noticed that the cove with the knife in his guts. And when they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and Mick Gilded got me out of sight.
Out of sight, where?
Back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to an halt, the two coves from the roof ran out to fetch the slops.
And if they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident.
So that left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene of the crime. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there, cause I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial, I believe.
A fellow went by the name of Bubble, if memory serves.
I was about to use his voice. Oh my god, I forgot about it. What did McGilded and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happened, and stuff like that mainly. Okay. And this is the last piece of evidence, piece of testimony we need to get. The pawn shop obviously being Windy Banks on the Baker Street.
Just a moment, Consul. Do you mean to tell me that a driver gave false testimony in that trial as well?
Perhaps the excursion of the pawnbroker slipped his mind when he was in the stand.
Indeed. indeed, our Lord Von Zakes.
McGilded took off a coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up and all careful like before handing it over. And when I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it, it's all got to do with a few bob. Yes, Gina was sure that the disc must be worth more than Mr. Winnie Pig was suggesting, wouldn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon at the pawnbrokery. The driver looked pretty happy when McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off the lake. And then the box driver called to me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin. Okay, interesting. And now the last statement. But I don't know if I'm gonna hear the whole thing. Threatened you. How exactly? Told me I'd only be able to scrap her if I did exactly what he said.
Excuse me.
Never mind, we can't do this. Is there something? Ooh. Sorry, I meant to say. Is there something you'd like to share to the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? Inspector! Mr. Graydon!
What? Blimey! You're trying to give me a heart attack.
You have been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about?
Discussion? Well, this fella. Well, the other one, Sunshine. You think I got anything to talk about with a shady gent like this?
Ooh, and I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine.
But they clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating. Interesting.
You will kindly refrain from talking amongst yourselves while the witness is giving testimony.
Yes, I'm sorry, my lord.
What were those two talking about?
Mr. Strahd, continue with your testimony, please.
Yeah, please. Sorry about that, Gina. I just needed them to shut up. Well done, Gina. I can't believe it can't have been easy to tell the truth like that. Gina's really put her faith in you, Runo. Yes, and thanks to her, she had to face a charge of perjury once this trial's over. So I need to use this time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible. It's time to really get going. Press on every statement. Yep, we did that. So I did that out of the way, but we need to continue on with this testimony right here. I should have done that later, but it's alright. I guess it's alright. We needed them to stop talking. Jesus Christ. Threatened you how exactly? Told me I only been a scrapper if I did exactly what he said.
Which included giving false testimony to the court 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And there was no other thing he said.
Which was?
He told me I have to hang on to the ticket from the pawnbroker shop. And make sure to lose it. Make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I have never.
Said he didn't show up to get the ticket off of me before 2 months passed. He had to go to the pawn shop to pay the money to keep it in lug, to keep it being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
But really, why on earth would Mr. McGilded have done such a thing? Depositing an overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of the police. It makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. That what Mr. McGilded had the driver deposit at Winnie Banks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that, he let me go, and so I legged it before the coppers showed up. And that's everything we need to know.
Thank you, Mr. Lestrade. Thank you, Consul. And I have heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus.
Indeed. Now I know everything. It would appear that on the night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc, however, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over the price, McGilded took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life.
Which proves my point. This disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why as it is yet.
And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded coats and its contents were due to be forfeited.
I didn't know what he should do with that ticket. I mean, the coat died right after its trial. I know that.
So you decided you could try to claim the articles as your own.
Well, why not, eh? They were only gonna be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have gotten them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime.
Mr. Stride, it would appear that Mr. McGilded was prepared to kill in order to take possession for this disc. Do you know why that would be?
Eh? I got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably gonna sell it. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. She's right, thinking ain't no crime.
My lord! The evidence your lordship requested has been located and is already to the court's inspection. So?
Ooh, it's finally here. 30 minutes have passed.
And why is Gina shocked? What the fuck? Why is she shocked? It made no sense.
Alright, Yonosuke. The mysterious little box deposited by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago.
Just kidding. I'm so sorry.
There's no doubt in my mind that it's a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle. What makes you say that? And to be continued. Again, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna end it off here or not, but I'm probably gonna continue on with the recording, so who knows? Maybe it's the end of the episode, or maybe I'll just keep going. And don't look at the date, 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 don't look at the date. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna continue on. In this music box. So this is the article in question.
So this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited by the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago.
And on the night of Mr. Windybank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick, quick! Let's open one to see what's inside. Oh.
Good gracious, there's no ordinary box, it seems.
Wow. Although, in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case.
It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement.
And is it too much to expect?
I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for a playback for this disc, my lord.
So, here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilder's disc, deposited at winning base at much the same time.
Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not Mr. McGilder's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus.
But why? For heaven's sake. Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilder?
Interesting. What, you're gonna say, I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music box. Music on the disc, my lord.
Yes, very well. Now, Lord, now listen to the new curious disc at last.
I knew it. Someone's gonna say,
Wait, my lord!
Lord Grave, what is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The music box, and the discs are, well, they're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music.
hell no. This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened.
The prosecution has no objection. But oh! The piece of evidence of clearly Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of the prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. Ah!
No further delays. Please, play the disc.
Alright. Play the disc! Play the disc! Play it! Should we not take out the paper out of it? Because it might disturb it, right? Or is it underneath? Interesting.
What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music.
No. It's like a message. It's just the same note playing over and over again in a regular sequence.
Mr. Graydon, why are you laughing?
This is really priceless.
After all that, the music box is broken.
Broken? It can't be. Can it?
Well, obviously, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised. If the officer sent to fetch it, it didn't drop it on the way back in the courtroom. Well, with much regret. I feel that the court must accept the music box offers a little in the ways of clues. Are you ready to move on, Consul?
Come on. Yes, alright. It does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from the music box, possibly be a new clue? It could be a clue. It could. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord, but how can it be? It's an abomination, Consul. Mere noise. I'd rather see how it can have any meaning whatsoever.
It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. What's bothering you? Well, Graydon stands there chortling victoriously. The inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It is as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that making him appear extremely on edge.
If that's the stance of the defense, my Nibonese friend, answer me this.
Oh! What?
This. What does this mean, What music do you know? Is this the Nipponese kind? What kind is it? What kind of genre? Is it J-pop? Just what relevance do you propose this rolepoli chiming has of this case?
Come on. In the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is not supposed to be music. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean it sounds worth hearing for our music. Ooh. Look at that. A smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting like Hurley, Reno.
Objection!
Who's Hurley? Okay, the sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you told us what they are not. I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, Nipponese friend.
Whoa. What other noise could it be? It could be, Morse code. Well,
surely you have an idea in mind. Because if not, I'll kill you. It will be the death of your ill-formed arguments. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness.
They got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. Reno. I believe I've just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all.
Really?
Really. The way it's been made, It can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. What she said! What she said right here, right now. It's only made to make one music note. Alright, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing has some significance that isn't musical. I must think this through. Come on, think this through, Inosuke. Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? I don't know. Tell us for their whole class. Something just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like this one in the music box makes. You're right. Yes, it sounds familiar sound. It makes a familiar noise. Alright, Iris. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. I wish Iris could just tell us, because she's smart enough. She already knows the answers.
I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what in the devil is it, Console?
All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now.
The prosecution demands that Mylon, Nipponese friend, presents proof now. Tangible proof of the latest wild speculation.
Alright. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. Well, you say that last time too. And if I'm right, I'm going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds of the music box disc is... Huh? 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 Am I supposed to wait, what? I'm supposed to present evidence? Well, it can't. Okay, let's use our process what's it called? Shit, I forgot. Process of elimination right here. It can't be this. It can't be this. It can't be this. It can't be this. It can't be that. The Promberger's ticket code. It can't be Iris's story manuscript. And it can't be Mrs. Actually, can it be? No, it can't. It can't be this. Oh! Maybe the morning paper, which contains article about government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. No, it could be that. Can't be this. Can't be the crime scene photo or the plan. It can't be Whitney Banks' gun. So, what could it be? Let's see. We had any part. Blah, blah, blah. What can it be? Anyways, not the guns, not these pictures. It can't be. It can't be the stereoscope. It can't be the music box disc because it doesn't really give us any significance at all. It can't be Harlock's and the third bullet. I'm gonna say this.
Take that!
Today's paper, Console. The headline is Pawnbroker perishes the Big Wars plunder, highly supportive for your cause.
No, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page.
Further down, Ministry more classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Oh, yes. It's a very serious matter being investigated at the highest level, I understand.
I have heard the international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted, and leaked to various other countries.
And presumably, those transmissions are in the forms of wire telegram.
Of course.
Juror number 5, your input, please. Stop. Me, sir? Whatever is the matter? She's like, what the hell? Me? You've been helping us a lot. I hope you can help us right now. You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh, yes. We're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not very familiar sound. It's not a very familiar sound. Dot, 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 dot. You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. But I don't believe it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from the government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer.
Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code?
We could. It became more. Now we see why they wanted to take it.
Order! Order! Please, everyone. Order! What is? This is the highest high treason concern deserving a capital punishment.
Too much new vocabulary. What is this treason? And what is this capital punishment?
And the source of the words I'd half expect you to know. Exactly, what the hell?
Sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was a very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus.
But in the end, McGilded perished, and all the important disc laid unclaimed in the pawnbrokery.
My lord.
In which case, whoever stole the information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out on the country,
It would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death.
So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. And in order to do that, we would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? Ooh.
You think you've been stealing government secrets? You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous! So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. I had to stand here in silence while the pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Ooh.
How dare you say that? He's a good lawyer. I mean, then by all means, counter the charges, sir.
Ooh.
The prosecution demands the witness testifies. Response to the accusations brought by the defense.
Come on, tell us.
Delighted, I'm sure. The witness is reminded that the crime under the scrutiny in the trial of the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Winniebank, that being a most flagrant offense, of which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. But the heinous act of the high treason is no less a serious crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon.
Ooh, you're screwed now.
So then, let us proceed, if you may.
Who said that?
The hell? You gotta let us have the rabbit of the book here, Governor. We got things to say.
I beg your pardon? Why do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Name's not Skulkin. Occupation is professional body.
Name's Rico Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland.
That's right. We've earned what they call... The three Skulkin brothers. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing.
Alright, I guess they're in on it now, I guess. And now, another testimony.
Oh my god, when will this ever end?